Back, President Biden traveling to Oklahoma today to mark 100 years since the Tulsa race massacre took place. The president traveling to the area where it happened just a few hours from now to honor the victims of the tragic event that happened in 1921, where as many as 300 Black Americans were killed by a white mob. Nearly 10,000 were left destitute and homeless in the community that was often referred to as the Black Wall Street. Joining us now to discuss is Bruce LaBelle, an executive director for the National Diversity Coalition for Trump and senior RNC media surrogate. Bruce, thank you for coming on today. What's interesting about the Tulsa race massacres, for a long time, it was rarely reported on. I was reading that it wasn't until 2000 that the slaughter was included in the Oklahoma public school curriculum and then made its way into American history textbooks following that. How are you reflecting on the tragedy 100 years later?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Well, first off, in Black culture, we've known about this, as I recall, when I was a little bitty boy and my dad's dad, et cetera. It was talked about. It was an unfortunate tragedy. I understand the Black wealth factor coming from that generational wealth here in Atlanta, in terms of Auburn Avenue was Black Wall Street, Harlem, another town in Florida. There's many others that were like that. It was an unfortunate tragedy. But, this gets back to when I was thinking about, I've been reading all the different, newspapers. I've been printing this particular story right now in the last day or so, Emma. And the interesting thing about it still gets back to fake news in terms of how, let me explain how this happened. The Tulsa Tribune, when this went down on Dick Rowland, who was a shoe shine guy, was allegedly accused of assaulting a white woman in a elevator. Tulsa Tribune took the article and put it on the front page and said, quote, "Nab Negro for assaulting girl," and then put this out there. And then all this started spreading. And see, this is how dangerous this is on how these things are reported. And I noticed in some of like an AP News and some of the other news that are printing this, they're also putting fuel in there, throwing in some Republicans in there, blaming President Trump for us coming to Oklahoma, trying to have a rally, put a sense of normalcy back in our republic as it relates to even acknowledging Juneteenth and honoring Juneteenth and talking about generational wealth and building Black business, which was part of the Platinum Plan. The list goes on. So it's interesting to see where the news media, where they're going the next couple of days on how, quote, watch this, when Biden's administration continue their pandering efforts and also shifting blame on the Republicans or President Trump and totally igniting and fueling it even more based on fake news.
Yeah, that's so fascinating. Of course, when you really dig into the facts of the matter, what you've just shared with our viewing audience right now, I want to talk to you about a slightly different topic, but it relates because we've heard from particularly left-leaning politicians, perhaps the idea of reparations for Black Americans. And perhaps the president, we don't know exactly where he stands on the idea of reparations, but perhaps he could be making an announcement. Again, this is later today. But what do you think, Bruce, when it comes to reparations for Black Americans today?
Yeah, well, it is a touchy subject, and it can go back, well, obviously it goes all the way back from 30 acres and a mule, Emma, all due respect, from after the Civil War, and many other stories across the country where Black Americans were treated unfairly, land taking and there's a aggressive, aggressive eminent domain that was used in certain aspects of it. But I think respect in terms of the conversation you do have to have this conversation, but also if there's a proven fact of any government entity taking someone's land, taking someone's property without the proper due process of the law and just taking it, I think that conversation needs to be brought up on who own it, who are the heirs, who own this particular parcel or this building or this land, and put this back on the table and have the conversation of who actually owns this and who took this. So yeah, I believe in all respects for all Americans, it's not just Black Americans, any Americans have been dealt a bad deck of cards, if you might say, that were their land or homes were taken illegally by the government, whether it be city, county, state, or federal government, Emma.
Yeah. President Biden also issuing a proclamation on the Tulsa massacre ahead of today's solemn centennial, saying in part, quote, "I call on the American people to reflect on the deep roots of racial terror in our nation and recommit to the work of rooting out systemic racism across our country." Bruce, what are your thoughts on that remark?
Well, it gets back to what, from the previous administration, I got to give more respect and accolades to President Trump, because remember when he introduced the Platinum Plan, I was very fortunate to be a part of that, writing some of that material in there that creates and talks about where do we go forward, which was, quote, part of the Platinum Plan. And by the way, the Platinum Plan was over $500 billion worth of resources and infrastructure that were going to lift and help underserved communities. What do we get? We got the left throwing darts and talking down at us and pushing us off. These are the things, respectfully, we have to talk about. You have to have, when you bring up so many tragedies, you got to have a proactive solution, Emma. You're like, okay, yeah, we've been through this bad situation, but what can we do to move forward? Okay, let's talk about access to capital. Let's talk about opportunities where Black Americans, like our other folks in the United States, has, once again, I use this word again, generational wealth, how we teach the wealth factor to keep going on to generations to avoid poverty and also to sustain economic downturns. Even like in the pandemic, those of us who have that wealth, we're able to sustain and endure and go through this type of ordeal. These are the conversations you have to look and talk about going forward. Yes, it's great, and always talk about, yeah, we had such a bad tragedy. Okay, now where do we go from here? What tools, what can we put in place? The Biden administration has been over 100+ days. They haven't started the Step 2 Act, which talks addressing even more prison reform. There's no comprehensive reform, anything that relates to, as they saw, understanding and pushing the wealth factor in underserved communities. You saw their opportunity zones, how many Black Americans, and the fastest growing uptick in small business was in the Trump administration. It was moving forward. They haven't done anything except go in there and go unravel great initiatives and set ourselves backwards. So it's great, to give, look back and where we've been through and give our condolences to everything we've been through in this, from a tragedy perspective in the United States. But also, okay, now here are some tools we can go forward with. Right. These are the things we can accomplish and build together as America. Yeah. And I don't see that in the Biden administration. I just see, they'll go, watch what's going to happen. I'll say this on your show. He's going to go down there, probably behind closed doors, won't even say anything, get back in the plane, leave, and then that's it. There will be no proactive solutions. Mark my words on this. There'll be no proactive solutions that relates to lifting this particular community or any other Black communities or any other underserved communities in the United States. Watch what I tell you. All
right. Hey, we'll wait and see. In the meantime, though, Bruce, always great to hear from you. We appreciate you taking the time. Bruce Lavelle joining us on the program.
Yes, thanks.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.